Welcome to the Expert Speaker Podcast, where we bring you the best tips and strategies to grow your business with speaking. Whether you're a professional speaker or an entrepreneur ready to take the stage and share your message, you'll learn the best sales and marketing strategies to make a bigger impact and a bigger income with your message right here on the Expert Speaker Podcast.
I believe in telling the truth and the whole truth, so I'm going to throw this out there. The real number that matters is your profit. And after I paid team and expenses, no ads, because ads don't bring me joy and I ain't doing shit that don't bring me joy. We had $60K in profit. I was paid, team was paid, tech was paid, all the things. How many of you want 60K profit months? Because that's what I'm about.
Yes, please.
Yes,
I'm about that profit, baby.
Thank you. Shannon, I'm going to introduce you one more time because I press record after I introduce you. This is Shannon Hernandez, the joyful marketing strategist, expert speaker graduate, here to talk about how she's grown her coaching business to the high six figures. And, she says it doesn't matter what you make, it matters what you keep on profit. But Shannon, tell them how many days off you take.
Last year, I took 197 days off. And hello, everyone. You're going to hear this bell. If you say something I like and I say something I like, we're getting the ding.
Oh, that reminds me. Here's your $80,000 month.
Yes. Thanks.
We ring that. We ring that every time there's a sale.
I love
it. Okay, where do we even start, Shannon? Can we go back to the beginning?
Yeah, let's.
I got your book on my shelf here. Aha. The School Teacher, Breaking the Silence, My Final 40 Days as a Public School Teacher. Hits rock bottom, nowhere to go, says, there's something I am good at. It's getting the word out for business owners, helping them get customers, helping them come up with a plan and a freaking calendar and a freaking strategy to make money. And she started marketing consultant. Then one day she said, man, I did so good giving a presentation. It got me so many clients. I want to hire a speaking coach to help me do that better over and over. And she made a big investment on one conversation with me. She said, we're going for the full year, Shannon. Remember that? We went on the full year. And then I said, let's back it up. Let's do the program. We did this little program, same program that you guys did. It's called Make Money Speaking. Then, unlike any client, any graduate I had ever seen, she hits the ground running. She's implementing. She's doing the simple, straightforward strategy that we came up with, and that she actually did it.
Even if I found it boring, I still did it.
So tell me about, what was that insight that you had that, like, wait a second, out of all the ways I could grow my business right now, out of all the ways I could spend my money on coaching or whatever else, I'm going to invest in my public speaking skills so that I can give more speeches, because that's the way I'm going to grow my business. Not Facebook ads, not ClickFunnels and Tripwires, not spending a ton of money on a mastermind to go network in Cabo San Luca so that we can all hire each other. She says, I'm going to get a speaking coach and get speaking engagements. So why that? And take us through the journey that the folks here on the call are in the middle of their own journey right now to speak and get clients, and tell us about your story.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, everyone. I am here for you. I am an open book. You can ask me anything. So get those questions ready. I know we have private session afterwards. I left teaching. I taught for 15 years. The last 5, Spanish Harlem, New York City. I put myself right into that environment as a white lady, and I wanted to challenge myself. And I knew one thing. I could command an audience after teaching 36 8th graders from Spanish Harlem. 42 minutes I had every day. Okay. So that was to come through the door, to sit down, to get the homework out, to check the homework, to do the lesson, 20-minute mini lesson. That was the best way to teach and have them retain, give them an independent work session. They didn't have time at home. Many of them did not have time at home. Their home lives were crazy. And their parents were working multiple jobs, so they had no support at home. 3 minutes, close out, biggest aha takeaway, off we go. Next 36 into the door. I did this over and over. And I realized I was great at standing at the front of a room. And man, if I could stand out the front of the room for 8th graders in Spanish Harlem who looked nothing like me and thought we had nothing in common, I could certainly stand on a stage or get on a Zoom and talk to people about something we are all so passionate about, which is growing your business. And so that's really how it started. And I left teaching the first couple of years. I didn't pivot into strategy. I actually was a copywriter and a content writer for the bed and breakfast industry, believe it or not. I was a blogger for Huffington Post. So I was doing some writing at Huffington Post. And those were really like the two places that I was in. The wedding industry was the other one. So I kind of started speaking at bed and breakfast conferences in Virginia and Pennsylvania, started speaking at these other conferences in the wedding industry, and really was a champion at the time when blogging was just kind of hitting of like.
Shannon, let me pause you for just a second.
Yeah.
So you're in the bed and breakfast industry, you're in the wedding industry, and you're speaking at conferences.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know about you, but when I started with the speaking at conferences business, I was like, I just want to get paid to do that. They'll fly me out there. They'll pay for my flight. They'll pay for my hotel. They'll give me some check and I won't go broke and I'll be a professional speaker. That was like the vision, because I just wanted to travel and be on stage. People listen, laugh at my jokes, pay me money.
Yeah.
Now, I wonder, what was your strategy? Were you thinking, I just like teaching? Or were you thinking, this is a good way to get clients? Or were you thinking, maybe I could be one of those paid speakers at these conferences? Like, what were you thinking as you were like speaking at these conferences?
This is such a great question. To this day, I have never taken a payment for speaking as a strategic move. And I'm going to tell you all why. You can pay me $2,500, $5,000, $10,000 to show up on a stage and give a great speech, or I can show up, foot my own bill, do what I know I was born to do, which is speak and help people with their marketing. And I turn around from everywhere I speak with a minimum of $100,000 in new business. And so they're two very different models. They're two very different models. And I have never been interested in the paid to speak model. I am interested in getting on a stage, having at least 30 minutes, hour is my sweet spot, pouring into people, helping them see what they can't see and don't know to see and don't know to look for, and turning around just like Majeed teaches, handing them a form and following up for a strategy session. That is how I make bank. That is my strategy.
All right. So now take me to, you went through the program, you got a signature speech, you got a stage getting campaign, you got a spreadsheet full of places. How do you get those speaking engagements? Did you put on a pot of coffee and you pick up the phone and you just start booking calls, or what's your process?
Well, in 8 years, I've never made a cold call and I don't plan on starting. So it's not part of my strategy. For those of you who are introverts or have a severe aversion to cold calling, I'm your girl. All right. I am extroverted when I'm doing this. Other times, forget it. I am not like going to be at the front of attention. So no, I never did the cold calls. Now I will sit and do an email, 10 outreaches a day, 10 a day, 10 a day. I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So that's 30 a week. The next week I log in on Tuesday. I follow up with the first 30, add another 5, add another 5. I track everything to this day on a spreadsheet. We had an
that is boss. Let me just pause you there. All right.
Yeah.
10 emails a day.
Yep.
Every day.
Yep.
Follow-up email. Well, it works when you do it. You ever feel like not doing it?
Oh yeah.
How do you do it when you feel like not doing it?
Well, as you know, because you've been through Joy Money Retreat, which is a signature retreat. I just drove in yesterday from Virginia, leading 2 rounds. That's part of my speaking now, right? I'd love to talk about that. So make sure you write that note down. We have something called reward and ritual that I teach people. These are around the tasks that need to get done. They haven't been delegated to an assistant or they haven't been delegated to somebody yet, and you're the one who needs to do them. And so every Tuesday, which was today, I'm back in my office. I opened up my spreadsheet. I know exactly where I am in the process. I build a ritual first, get myself ready. I worked out with my personal trainer. I had a latte delivered to my desk from my spouse. And then I hit the ground, did my 10 outreaches, did my follow-up. Immediately after, that's the ritual, I rewarded myself. I went and had a slice of pumpkin pie.
Okay, are you guys writing this down? Latte delivered from spouse, pumpkin pie. This is the specific formula, okay? In the middle is where you make all the money.
Yeah.
Between the latte and the pumpkin pie. Okay.
Right. How many of you, just by show of hands or use the chat, how many of you know you may not want to do it, but it needs to get done? First of all, yeah. Okay, and secondly, let's build in a process that I teach at Joy Money Retreat, which is reward and ritual, right? Super important to getting those things done. We all know the real reward is the money, the revenue, right? But you got to have a little love for yourself in between there.
The impact, the money, and what you'll do with the money. Those are all things that drive you towards. I mix in a little bit of a pain motivator by making promises that I have to keep. And I feel incoming pain by not keeping the promise. But reward and ritual, delivered latte, worked out with the personal trainer, pumpkin pie afterwards. You can almost taste the pie with every call. Okay, so secret revealed. How to consistently book speaking engagements is to have a spreadsheet that you actually reach out to people regularly. Consistency carves canyons. And it's a momentum thing too, because you speak and then you get invited back to speak and then you get referred to more places to speak. The more you speak, the more you speak, to speak more, and away you go. And so you're also doing a really cool speaking thing that I see you doing from time to time on the internet. And I pop in and I go, oh, she's doing the really cool thing that makes her a lot of money.
What?
Masterclass series, Facebook group, multiple workshops in a row, and then you're making lots of money. How does that work?
Yeah. So I have Facebook group. You're all welcome to join it. Anyone here, anyone watching, it's called Marketing and Selling for Coaches and Consultants. In this Facebook group, okay, once again, I have never paid for ads. I don't plan on it. It's not joyful. I don't pay to get people in my group. It's all part of, you take the quiz or you take the scorecard, the thank you page pops up, says join the group. That's where I am. I really hang out in two places: your inbox when you're on my newsletter and my Facebook group. That's it. Instagram's for my art. I hate Twitter, left there years ago. Pinterest, I have a pinning addiction. I don't do anything business on it. That's it. Facebook group, email list. So biggest takeaway I want you all to write down right now is get really good at email list. Number one, you need to own your data. You need to build relationships. Okay. How many of you knew Facebook went down yesterday? Yeah. If it never came back again, I wasn't panicking. I didn't care. I mean, my group would find me somewhere else, right? But they're all on my list, so I could go to another platform if I needed to. So whether you all are using LinkedIn or wherever, that's like a great strategy. Email list and one social media, that's it, right? So in my group during this lovely pandemic, when I wasn't speaking, I actually started doing something called workshop weeks in my Facebook group, where I would go live in my group. You had to register, right? Because I want to own the data. So you had to register. But I'd go live in the group and people could join me in our joyful Zoom classroom just like this, or they could catch it live. We made hundreds of thousands of dollars selling programs that we already have created just by teaching. So my superpower is teaching, right? I'm going to teach, I'm going to train, I'm going to talk. That is how I generate revenue best. And so Majeed's referring to what I would call as workshop weeks. Now, we took that model and just 2 weeks ago, I opened something called the Creative Content Club. This is a membership. I was very opposed to memberships. I'm in year 8 of my business. I was super opposed to memberships because, like you all, I want to work with high-end, high-ticket clients. But I realized after my 7th year, I was leaving money on the table, and I wanted to get creative content into the hands of people who may not be ready yet to hire me for marketing strategy, or maybe they haven't even opened a coaching or consulting practice yet. And we had a $31,000 opening week of our club. And I'm going to ring the bell on that one. We're super excited about it. And I thought something would happen. This is how I help you with revenue road mapping and projecting how revenue is going to work with your programs. I thought something would happen. And we have our first club meeting on Wednesday. And I thought, oh, these people are going to get in the club. Some of them are going to say, I don't have marketing strategy. Why am I creating this content without a strategy? And I thought this would happen come about November. We've already had 4 people book calls, and we've sold them another program because they realize I need marketing strategy. Otherwise, why am I creating this content in the world? Like, let's put a strategy behind it. So Majeed, before the club has even officially kicked off, we've already signed 4 clients into a program.
Amazing. Let me unpack this here.
Yeah.
So Shannon's superpower is teaching. Raise your hand if you can relate to that statement. I love teaching. I'm good at teaching. Okay. Learners tend to be good teachers. Teachers tend to be good learners. You guys are doctors. You got a learning addiction. So she's teaching in the Facebook group, multiple days, lots of teaching. And then she's getting clients into now a lower ticket membership, and seeing that actually drives some sales to her higher ticket, higher touch service. Okay. So let me generalize those insights for you. Question I have for you, perhaps an oversimplification, perhaps a dream. If you can answer this question simply and easily, what is the one secret that gets workshop week learners to become clients? Shannon.
Well, if you come to a workshop with me, you're going to work it. You're going to leave with, you're going to do something just like I did in my classroom. 20 minutes, we're going to do something. Then you're going to apply it. Then I'm going to send you out into Facebook land or wherever you're hanging out to go do it. And you're going to see results, because we don't teach shit that doesn't get results. It is a brand value. We don't teach things that are theory. We don't do any of that shit. In fact, the reason people came to me for consulting and strategy before the membership, please, will you help me build a membership? And guess what I said? No, I haven't done it. I can help you build a program. I can help you sign high one-on-one clients. I can help you with a lot of things, but in integrity, I am not going to tell you how to build a membership or how to market a membership, but now I am. And I kept them on a list, and I'm going back to them this week because now I have the results. So give people something actionable, get them involved, praise them. How many of you have children? Just like having children, right? I don't have it. I have a cat, but I had hundreds of children every year as a public school teacher. That's what works. The reason people have a problem paying for things, and you all know this, they're not sure it's going to work. So you've got to build your lead gen and your marketing strategy around helping people see that what you're actually advising, coaching, consulting is going to work. You got to give them little taster sessions.
Okay. So in order to convert a lead into a client, or in your cases, lead into a student, into a client, you've got to show them that it works. And one way that you can show them that it works is you give them something to do, and they do it, and they see that it works. And in Shannon's case, she's doing this in a free multi-day Facebook group encapsulated workshop week that people are showing up and getting value and getting to know Shannon. Of course, she's telling amazing stories. Of course, she's teaching useful, actionable stuff. 20 minutes of implementation, not 20 hours.
Yeah.
They're taking action. They're getting results. And if I may offer my own insight, is they're kind of filtering themselves out in the form of engagement, because they may not yet be paying with dollars, but they're paying with their time and attention. Mm-hmm. So they're like paying clients in my mind, in the sense that they're paying with time and attention. You may also have noticed that Shannon said, I have a clear offer. I know what result I get. When they don't need that result, I don't make the offer, but I keep them on my list. the relationship. I'm very optimistic and bullish about relationships in general. Who knows? They might introduce me to my next speaking engagement, my next strategic partner. They might introduce me to the next love of my life. I'm going to be bullish and optimistic about the relationship. And look, how can I help them? How can I serve them? How can I keep them on my list? I love the insight, by the way, 2 things. Email, you own the data. 1, social media, keep your sanity. Shannon is a master of keeping her sanity. Can I say there may not be a better mastermind partner during a pandemic than Shannon Hernandez, taking off 190 plus days off, going to the gym, getting her massage, loving her clients, getting great results.
Wait,
Painting.
I have to tell a side story. Hold on.
Go ahead.
I'm going to tell on Majeed here.
Go ahead.
I love Majeed, and I know he just hiked all around. We got to have a catch-up call. We're going to do that. Majeed's like, when can I get on your calendar? Pull my calendar up. I'm like, well, not this week, not next week. I'm booked that week. Dude, you better get on my calendar about 6 weeks out if you want to mastermind. And that's why we fell off, honestly, for a while, because he was doing things, I was doing things, but my number one priority is not to run my business. It's to live my life.
Let's drill in there for a second.
Yeah.
Shannon, you're a master planner, which is why you're booked out 6 weeks. And that plan has a lot of fun, a lot of joy, a lot of Shannon time, a lot of creativity time. And one of the things I've seen you do over the years is build a great team. So I'd love to open the door for you to offer whatever you would like in terms of how do you get yourself out of your own business? How do you build your team? And if you'd like to segue into how do you run a company that does an $80,200 month while working as little as you do, spill the beans.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's been a process. So like many of us, it was me. Then I was like, I can't get all shit done. I need to get done. So I brought on virtual assistant, and then I brought on a social media person, but not in terms of, social media seller or any of that, but somebody that could take my brand message and create graphics. So it was a graphics person. And then the graphics person worked with my VA to schedule social media. And remember, that is Facebook group. That's it. I was going to say but no, it's not an and. It's Facebook group, right? So really having a strategy for my Facebook group is key, right? Then I realized something as I grew, and I started with one-on-one clients. I didn't actually want to do things like we mail them flowers. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to get on the phone with them when their payment declined for whatever reason. It happens, right? I don't have it happen often, but it happens. The credit card is compromised, whatever. Like there's a million reasons this happens. The expiration date ends, blah, 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 right? I didn't want to help people figure out how to log into things. So I hired a client care virtual assistant. And that was key to really expanding how well my clients are taken care of without me having to take care of them. Because in my world, I am the best at teaching, training, and strategizing and consulting. That's me and you on a call, or you in my program, me showing up in my zone of genius, and I let client care handle all the other things that are important, but like, you don't want me to try and tell you how to log into something. I can barely log into my own shit half the time. And I have a techie spouse who's put all these beautiful things in place so that I don't have to ask her a million times what's the password? All right. So that was important. Then when I started doing speaking and hosting retreats as kind of my front end, which by the way, I have done all through COVID, I made a decision. I do not live in Canada. All right. So Majeed, I get it. Right. I live in New Jersey, right across from New York City. I just made a decision, instead of hosting big retreats at resorts, I would host small retreats at Airbnbs. And I've sold out every single retreat and actually had to do 2 back-to-back in every location every quarter since COVID hit, right? So people are still wanting to do events, but I needed somebody to handle getting my people to the retreat I needed someone to handle getting the food ordered for the Airbnb. I needed somebody to handle discussing with the Airbnb what we needed. So I brought on a travel concierge and retreat planner. And all I have to do is tell her where I'm going in 2022. And she does everything to make it happen. I give her the dates and the locations, and she's off and running. So this
quick question about retreat planner. So like anyone who says I'm in, I'm paying, then you just pass them off to the retreat planner.
Yep.
They ask about their diet and their hotel, and they take care of it. Okay, got it.
All of it. Yeah. They even book their flights if they want it.
Okay, so quick recap. First hire, graphic designer. Second hire, client care. Third hire, travel concierge and retreat planner. Shannon and I, we have a love for travel, a love for live events, a love for making life simple, easy, and fun. And she's slowly building the business and the team so that she stays more and more in her zone of genius, which is talking to clients, doing sales, teaching, and to repeat the mantra, if it ain't joyful, we ain't doing that shit. Oh, and you swear. Is this a good thing for you? She asked me before we went live, can I swear? I think I'm going to get an E on the podcast episode now because I just went explicit.
Okay. You'll get more people listening because it has an E. Just
this one's going to be exciting. How interesting. Okay, let me ask you a question that may be a bit esoteric, but I have a feeling you're going to offer something very brilliant here. Okay. What is marketing strategy? The word strategy to come from the Greek stratego, to be general, like if I move my troops here, they'll move their troops there. So therefore I should move my troops here before they move their troops there, to be general, like strategic. But what is strategy and what is a marketing strategy? And do I have a marketing strategy? I may have an unconscious one. I may have a loose one. What is it? Is it a Word document? Is it a Google Doc? What strategic plan? What are those? Tell us, what is marketing strategy?
Can I share my screen?
Yeah.
Awesome.
While you're doing that, a quick plug. Shannon has created something called the Business Expansion Scorecard, and you get to take this. I have not yet taken it, but the last thing that Shannon created for me to take was very insightful. I'm looking forward to taking this, Shannon. How does one do the Business Expansion Scorecard?
I put it in the chat for your lovely people.
Great. mshannonhernandez.com/scorecard. Okay.
And here's what I want everyone to know, okay? You're going to get an invitation to meet with my colleague, Amy. She does all the strategy sessions now. And I'm going to give you all a hot, and anyone watching on Facebook, starting probably Friday, depending on when it's been tasked out to my team. Our strategy sessions are going to $250 for the hour. Still great. You're going to leave with great clarity, even if you wait. But if you want to click that link, book your strategy session now while they're free before we change things. All right, this week. And then do your card. We're going to go over your business scorecard with you and give you lots of great clarity around what your next best step is. So I suggest that you do that. If you want to do it, not for $250.
Excellent. So you're moving to charging for the strategy call. So you're offering a business expansion scorecard, which is a free online thing. And then you later get invited to a strategy call. Is that what's happening?
In the email sequence, you'll get invited to have a strategy call. Yes.
Phenomenal. And I'm sure it's worth every penny at $250. And I'm sure it's even better when it's free.
Yep.
I see a grid.
Okay, cool. So listen, everyone. This is where I get real fired up. So you need to put on your seatbelts and buckle up because we're about to drop some truth. If you don't have,
and just so people can concentrate, and if their mind is being blown, like my mind was being blown the first time I saw Shannon do this, she has an old iPhone attached to a movable arm, like I have this microphone on, that's pointed down, and she's running it like a webcam through a special software so that we can see her draw as she's doing it. What a master expert speaker. That's what you're doing, right?
That's it.
Yeah, okay, cool.
That's it.
Okay, so now we can all get back to focusing on what's this grid.
All right. So everyone, this is a 90-day joyful marketing plan. This is your strategy for each quarter. How many of you are pretty excited that we can lay you out a revenue generating strategy on one piece of paper? Yeah. Okay. Because you know what? Multiple pieces of paper, multiple spreadsheets, all that shit is not fun. Okay. Notice that there are 3 boxes here. We've got, how are you going to build your list in October, November, December? So great example. I just dropped the scorecard for you all. That's a list building tool. I just have to remember to say it, to market it, to put it out into the world. People get on my list, they book strategy calls. All right. So every good marketing strategy has a list building plan. And that means people can get on your email list and they can engage with you. Okay. Every great marketing strategy focuses first on generating revenue. So I'm going to call on Majeed just for a minute. I'm going to put him on the spot. You guys can see your coach squirm a little here if he does. So Majeed, what are you selling in Q4?
I'm selling a live event in Florida in November. I'm selling a 6-week intensive program for $5,000. And I'm selling a 1-year intensive program for $15,000.
Do you all see? It needs to be that clear in your brain what you are selling. Majeed, how many people do you want at your live event in Florida?
18.
Okay. And are you going to do that in October and November, or when are you going to close sales for that?
Those sales will be closed before the end of October.
Okay. So everyone, watch what's going to happen here. This is an energetic container. It sits on your desk and it reminds you, oh yeah, this is why I'm doing this. All right. Majeed has a goal of 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Majeed, how many have you sold so far?
8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's how you use this tool.
I love it. So good. I'm doing it right now with Post-it notes.
Okay. So you do this. Majeed, how many do you want to sell of your 5K? And how many do you want to sell of your 15K? And you create your guideposts here. Beautiful. This is where we build marketing strategy from.
What are we selling? How many are we selling? And we're creating a visual representation of each one of those yet to be discovered, yet to say yes customers. I think of it like, you know, who's going to fill these spots?
Yep. Okay. So we create marketing strategy when you work with us, me and my team, me, whoever in a program, my brand. All right. We create marketing strategy from the question of, what do you want to sell this quarter? And it is so not what people do. And that is why your content is loosey-goosey. Your content doesn't relate to what you're selling. You're not booking strategy calls. You're not getting clients because it's all disconnected. Okay. So the next question I'm going to ask Majeed, because he still has 10 of these to sell in October. Majeed, what do your people need to hear in October in your marketing to click that button and say yes to your event?
So they need to hear that the fastest and easiest way to get clients is through public speaking. They need to hear that the key to getting booked as a speaker is having a good video. They need to hear that the way to make the biggest impact is through storytelling. That might be too many ideas.
Nope, you're good. Okay, everyone, look, we have three weeks left this month, right? We're in the first week. Majeed is gonna send an email next week about this, and the next week about this, and the last week of October about this. He's gonna go live a couple times a week, wherever, probably Facebook, and talk about public speaking equals clients. And then the next week, video for speakers, and then impacted storytelling. And I have no doubt Majeed will sell this out if he does that. Now, if Majeed goes live and he starts talking about some random shit, like, I don't know, his kids going to the deli that opened or the coffee shop or whatever that was. All right. Which is great. It has its place, but it's not connected to what he's selling. He's probably not going to meet his sales goals. Okay. So here's what we do. We look first, we call this your revenue roadmap. We look at how all your things are going to fit together. Majeed, are you going to offer a Q&A or a webinar, anything about this retreat?
Yes.
Okay. So up here, it's a list builder because it's probably free. Retreat Q&A.
Yep.
He's going to have one of those. So he's going to build his list and invite people who want to know more about it. That is a public speaking, amazing way to sell to multiple people at one time without having to talk to everyone. Okay. And I really suggest that you all do that. We moved this past year from launch model to open everyday model. And that means I am no longer launching. I am not exhausting myself, my resources, or my team doing these complicated fucking launches that nobody wants to do anyway. We moved to an open everyday model. Comes with its own little unique things, but guess what? We had an 80K month because we're open every day to enroll and we're not in launch mode. Waiting for the next one, waiting for the next one. Okay. So Majeed, just a side note, this is great. I know you have to fill this by the end of October, but you get to have an open house, if you will, about the retreat. It's a beautiful little word, open house. It's very warm.
Love it.
Okay. Invite people, sell to multiple people. Then you're going to click this off. You build your list. You've had it. You're going to make those sales.
Gotcha.
Okay. Now, a lot of people ask me, Shannon, what the hell is a passion project? Like, why is this on your marketing strategy? And I'm going to tell you all why. We're going to get your marketing working so much, and you're going to have time off and you're going to have money. I don't want you to screw it up, which is what we love to do. We love to create something new. We love to create a new offer because we're creatives. We love to fill our programs and then introduce something new and confuse our buyers. Confused buyers don't buy. So in this brand, we talk about passion projects. These are the things you're going to do personally when everything's working, because you don't need to work 1,000,000 hours a week or even 40. All right. I work 20 at most. All right. So Majeed, what's something personal? You just hiked, so that was awesome. What's something personal passion project for October?
I'm getting serious about dancing.
Oh, Lord.
Dancing lessons, dance parties. It's a passion project.
Love it. All right. So I love to have you rate me on a scale of 1 to 10. 1, this was total waste of time. She should have never flipped on her camera. 10, holy shit. I don't maybe have a marketing strategy, but this makes sense. Please put it in the chat. Like, I'm glad she flipped on her camera is a 10. And I'm glad that Shannon explained what the hell this is, because it is like this kind of esoteric thing that floats around out in the world, but I've made it very practical.
You're getting 10s. You're getting 10s. Yeah, this is really, really helpful. I have my own marketing strategy. And I do make videos of my kids going back to the deli. Why aren't you buying my public speaking program after that beautiful, adorable child is, anywho. Okay. Is this the business expansion scorecard or is that something else?
That's something else.
Tell us about that.
Yeah. So the business expansion scorecard looks at 8 areas you need to focus on, not all at one time. You'll go nuts, not joyful. 8 areas every brand business needs to focus on to expand and scale. Things like messaging, offers, profitability, sales process, team. That's 5 of the 8. You simply open a Google Doc, you score yourself a 0. This is not present in my business. A 2, I've got some of this going on, or a 5, I've nailed this. And you're going to get a score at the end. And that score helps us when we have a strategy session with you and we look at your scorecard with you, see, okay, you're doing these things well. This is where you need to focus on next. And we're going to help you determine that. So you don't go crazy trying to expand your business. And we don't want anyone burning out. And you can't do all the things at one time anyway. So we're going to help you based on your score, see What's the next thing that's actually going to help me expand the revenue and the joy and the time off? We only work with people who want 3 things at one time: more joy, more revenue, and more time off. And you would not believe the number of people I do not sign as clients because they say to me, 60 hours a week is fine. I'm like, I ain't your girl. Or I have all the joy I could ever want. I don't know about you all, but last time I checked, there was not a ceiling on my joy, right? So that's how that scorecard was built. And honestly, let's be real, it filters out a lot of people who they don't want more joy and more revenue and more time off. And that is our perfect client right there.
Filter for your perfect clients, add value with a free opt-in that tells the lead about the subject they're most interested in, which is themselves. Ooh, what's my score? I wonder what my score is. I would love to know more about me. I just put into the chat one more time. It's mshannonhernandez.com/scorecard. So more joy, more revenue, more time off. That's how we're keeping track of things. My personal KPI, key performance indicator, how I measure my success, is the definition of my sandal tan. And I have the most amazing, epic sandal tan. I walked 500 miles through the scorching sun of Spain, and the sun put the brown on the skin and the pasty white feet, and I got the best sandal tan. So if that's what we're measuring, winning is happening on these feet right now. Now I want to show you guys something. I got this from Shannon maybe 3 years ago. Get ready for this. Okay. All right. Are we looking at this? Well, it's upside down. Now, Shannon taught me that you can deliver a life-changing 3-day event over Zoom. Prior to this, I was renting out a room. People were buying flights, traveling internationally with their passports, telling me about their freaking dietary preferences so that all we could eat at the event was ice cubes. And then I take a 3-day event with Shannon Hernandez. She ships me ahead of time this beautiful poster and this lovely folder that I still have. Quality matters, ladies and gentlemen. Texture is important. We're working with a stationery expert here. So Shannon sends me these color-coded Post-it notes. And she says each color represents a category. She's organized. This is the key right here. This is the legend. All right. All of the categories are here. Let me explain. Light blue, hobbies and personal development. Orange, products and services we offer now. Yellow, well-being and self-care. Ways I serve clients that aren't products or services. My children's needs, the products and services that I'm not selling. My necessary business activities, my ideas for products and services that don't currently exist. Business activities that create revenue. White is social media. Pink is other marketing activities. And blue is chores and households. Now, we take all these multicolored Post-it notes, and everything I do gets a Post-it note. And then each thing is mapped on a matrix where at the top left, it's high joy, bottom left, low joy, right side, high income, top right, high income and high joy. So we got high income, high joy. We got low income, high joy. We got low income, low joy, and we got high income, low joy. And then we act accordingly. Everything's mapped according to joy and money. It's called the joy money matrix. It is life-changing. Okay. I keep it. I rearrange it from time to time when I need to get my life in order. I organize it by making money and making joy. Shannon does these events live and in person with some of the most beautiful, wonderful entrepreneurs in these luxurious, fabulous Airbnbs. And you heard about how she does it. The Joy Money Retreat. So think about how you can think about your business through the lens of joy, through the lens of making money. It was life-changing. Shannon Hernandez, the joy marketing strategist. You've been a wealth of insights. We just did the marketing strategy in a single page where we define what's our 30-day plan, 60-day plan, and 90-day plan. And I'm saying it verbally just in case you're listening to the audio only. 30-day plan, 60-day plan, and 90-day plan for your list building activities, your revenue generating, and your passion projects. Because if we're not doing fun, we're going to self-sabotage. What a useful insight. I have a personal policy. It's called fun first, If we had fun and we got to work afterwards, that's great. But if we had fun and we didn't get to work, that's okay too, because we had fun first. Dr. Ala Goldman told me, she says, every single day I dance. And I was like, what am I doing with my life? Why can I not say that for myself? Because how are we measuring success here? Sandal tans and did I dance today? I mean, personally, it's hello. That's important. Okay, let's wrap it up. We're going to do private time with Shannon Hernandez for our live attendees. We're going to take some questions, but we're going to stop the recording so that those questions can be private. Shannon, are there any words of wisdom you'd like to leave us with, or any one more ways that we can get a hold of you? It's mshannonhernandez.com/scorecard to get the business scorecard. We talked about rewards and rituals. We talked about how she uses the workshop week. We talked about how she's using a membership site, which is actually driving some of the sales for the high ticket. We talked about how she built a team, starting with a graphic designer, then a client care specialist. Then the third hire was take care of my retreats for me, because my zone of genius is teaching. Book the catering, book the flights, book the hotel. It's a retreat planning concierge. She hires this person. Wonderful. Shannon, tell us one last nugget of beautiful wisdom, if you would. What else would you like to share with us? How can we get a hold of you? And then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah. So please take the scorecard. It is so enlightening. You're just going to see things that you never thought before. And that's why I built that scorecard. I think my biggest tidbit, and this has been, 3 years in the making and the branding of, and as we all know, you've got to educate people about things. That's really why we're all in the business of what we're doing. But I want to leave you with this question that I asked myself 3 years ago and then went and built the brand around it. What if joy was the business plan that got you the best results? And people thought I was nuts. The haters came out of the woodwork. The strategists came out and said, what are you teaching people? This is not. And I said, you do you. And here we are, 80K months, 60K profit, 12-day work months. I don't even have to go prove anything anymore. Because all those people, they're kind of watching now. They're kind of entering programs saying, maybe I could learn something about joy here. So thank you for having me. I know we're going to do a private Q&A. If anyone wants to reach me, the email is hq@mshannonhernandez.com. Happy to help you however I can. And the Facebook group is Marketing and Selling for Coaches and Consultants. Please fill out the 3 questions or you're not going to get approved. It's a filter.
Thank you for listening to the Expert Speaker Podcast. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and leave us a rating so that more people can discover the Expert Speaker Podcast and so more people can be empowered to share their message. Be sure to go to www.expertspeaker.com and take the masterclass to learn how to grow your business and make money speaking. It's totally free and will change your business. If you're ready to work with Expert Speaker, you can apply. Just go to expertspeaker.com/apply and someone from our team will be in touch with you to help you grow your business with public speaking. That's expertspeaker.com/apply. We'll see you in the next episode.